Before this video ends, you will see the exact moment where overthinking stops being your personality and reveals itself as a prison you have been decorating for years. And the dangerous part is this: you don't even notice the prison anymore, because the voice that is destroying your peace sounds exactly like your own voice. It tells you, think one more time. It tells you, prepare for every possibility. It tells you, if you worry enough, you can prevent the pain. But listen carefully. If overthinking was protecting you, why are you so tired? Why is your body tense? Why do you replay conversations with people who have already moved on? Why do you lose sleep over futures that may never arrive? Today, I will not ask you to silence your mind by force. I will show you how to take the throne back from it. Because your thoughts are not your master, they are only visitors. And tonight, 5 of those visitors will be asked to leave stop for a moment. Before you run to another video, before you search for another trick, before your mind whispers, maybe the answer is somewhere else. Listen carefully. The prison is not around you. The prison is the story you keep rehearsing inside you. A man can sit in a small room and be free, and another man can stand under the open sky and still be chained by one sentence repeating in his head. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I am not enough? What if tomorrow becomes worse than today? You think overthinking is thinking too much. It is not. Overthinking is thinking without direction. It is a horse running in circles until it collapses and calls the circle a journey. Today, do not come here to collect beautiful words. Beautiful words are easy. A sentence can sound wise and still leave you weak. Come here like a person who has become tired of being a prisoner of his own mind. Come here like someone who is ready to put down the bowl of poison he has been drinking every morning. Because overthinking does not enter your life like an enemy with a sword. It enters like a helpful friend. It says, let me protect you. It says, let me prepare you. It says, let me review every detail, every face, every possible danger. And because it sounds careful, you obey it. But the careful voice becomes a cruel master. It does not prepare you for life. It prevents you from living. Look at your own mind. When you overthink, does your body become stronger? Does your breathing become deeper? Does your courage rise? Does your path become clearer? Or do your shoulders tighten, your stomach twist, your sleep disappear, and your heart become a drum in a dark room? This is the first truth you must accept. Not every thought deserves your attention. Some thoughts are visitors. Some thoughts are thieves. Some thoughts come only to steal the energy you need for the next step. And the person who bows to every thought will never stand straight in life. You have been taught to solve everything with the mind. But the mind that creates the storm cannot always be the place where you find shelter. When the water is muddy, you do not punch the water to make it clear. You let it become still. In the same way, when your mind becomes loud, you do not defeat it by arguing with every sound inside it. You defeat it by training your attention, your body, your breath, and your actions until the mind understands. It is not the king, it is the servant. The first way to destroy overthinking is to return to the body before you try to fix the mind. This is simple, but simple does not mean weak. The body is the doorway back to the present moment. When your mind is lost in tomorrow, your hands are still here, your feet are still here, your breath is still entering and leaving this moment. Overthinking lives in imagined time. It feeds on the past that cannot be touched and the future that has not arrived. But the body cannot live yesterday. The body cannot breathe next week. The body is always in the now. So when you feel the storm rising, do not begin by asking, why am I like this? That question often becomes another cave. Begin by asking, where are my feet? What is my breath doing? What can I feel in my hands? Try this when the mind attacks you at night. Sit up. Do not lie there like a victim under a blanket, staring into darkness while your thoughts sharpen their knives. Sit up, place both feet on the ground, straighten your spine, and breathe as if your body is a mountain. Inhale through the nose, slowly. Hold for a moment. Exhale longer than you inhale. Not once, not twice. Continue until your body receives the message that you are not being chased by a tiger. The mind can invent many tigers. The body needs to know there is no tiger in the room. Then name what is real, not what is possible, what is real. Say quietly, I am sitting, I am breathing, my feet are on the ground, there is air in my lungs. This is a thought, not a command. These words may sound too small for a big storm, but do not underestimate small discipline. A single nail can hold a door closed against the wind. A single breath can interrupt the chain that would have dragged you for 3 hours. Many people want peace, but they treat the body like an abandoned house. They sleep badly, eat without awareness, move only when forced, and then wonder why the mind has become wild. A restless body becomes a restless mind. A tense body sends messages of danger upward. If your shoulders are always raised, like you are preparing for a blow, your mind will search for the enemy. If your jaw is locked all day, your thoughts will bite. So train the body to tell the mind a different story. Walk every day, not as exercise only, but as a ceremony of returning. Feel your heel touch the ground. Feel the weight move forward. Let your eyes see what is actually in front of you. The mind will say, we must think about the problem. You answer, first we walk. The mind will say, but this is urgent. You answer, a confused person creates urgent mistakes. Keep walking. This is not escape. This is sharpening the blade before using it. A dull blade works harder and cuts poorly. A calm body gives you a sharper mind. The second way to destroy overthinking is to separate the problem from the imagination around the problem. Most suffering is not caused by the problem itself. It is caused by the theater you build around it. Someone replies late and the mind becomes a movie director. In 5 seconds, it creates betrayal, rejection, humiliation, loneliness, a future where you are abandoned, a past where you were never loved, and a final scene where everyone laughs at you. One late reply becomes a universe of pain. But what is the real fact? A message has not been answered yet. That is all. The rest is smoke. You must become very strict with facts, not harsh with yourself, strict with facts. Ask, what do I know? Then ask, what am I adding? A fact is a stone, an assumption is fog. You can build on stone. You cannot build on fog. The overthinking mind loves fog because in fog, every shadow looks like a monster. So bring the lantern of clarity. Write the situation in 1 sentence with no drama. I made a mistake in the meeting. I do not know the result yet. This person has not responded. I have a bill to pay. I feel afraid. Notice how the body changes when the sentence becomes clean. Pain may remain, but confusion begins to leave. After the clean sentence, ask, is there an action available? If yes, take the smallest honest action. If no, stop feeding the problem. This is where many people lose their strength. They think worry is action. It is not. Worry is movement without progress. It is like sitting in a car, pressing the horn for 1 hour and believing you have traveled. Action changes something. Worry only repeats something. You must learn the difference, or your life will be spent exhausted beside problems you never touched. When the mind says, think about it more, ask, will 1 more hour of thinking reveal new information, or will it only repeat the same fear in different clothing? Be honest. Sometimes thinking is useful, planning is useful, reflection is useful, but chewing the same thought until it loses taste is not wisdom. It is self-punishment disguised as responsibility. A responsible person does not think forever. A responsible person sees clearly, chooses the next step, and accepts the discomfort of not controlling everything. The third way is to create a time boundary for thinking. The untrained mind believes it is allowed to speak whenever it wants. It knocks at midnight. It whispers during meals. It interrupts conversations. It follows you into prayer, into work, into rest, into love. You must teach it manners. You must become the gatekeeper of your inner temple. Not every thought may enter at every hour. Choose a worry window. 15 minutes, same time each day. During that time, write the worries down. Do not just think them, write them. The mind is slippery in silence. On paper, it becomes visible. Write the fear, write the possible action. Write what is outside your control. Write what must be accepted for now. When the 15 minutes end, close the notebook. When the same worry returns later, you say, I will meet you at the appointed time. At first, the mind will laugh at you. It will say, who are you to command me? You answer with repetition. Discipline is not believed by the mind until it is repeated many times. You may say, but my worries feel too strong. Good. Then your training must become strong also. A muscle grows because resistance exists. The mind becomes steady because storms exist. Do not wait for an easy mind to begin training. You train because the mind is difficult. When a thought comes outside the worry window, do not fight it like an enemy. Fighting gives it importance. Bow to it like a passing traveler and return to what is in front of you. Thank you, fear. I will meet you later. Then return to the dish you are washing, the book you are reading, the work you are doing, the person speaking to you. This return is the whole practice. Peace is not never leaving the present. Peace is becoming skilled at returning. The fourth way is to act before the mind finishes building excuses. Overthinking survives because action is delayed. Every delayed action becomes a breeding ground for fear. The longer you stand at the edge of cold water, the colder the water becomes in your imagination. The person who jumps, discovers the body, can survive what the mind exaggerated. Courage is often not a feeling before the action. Courage is the action that teaches the feeling to follow. You do not need to solve your whole life today. You need to break the spell with one clean movement. If you are overthinking a message, write a respectful message and send it. If you are overthinking a task, set a timer for 10 minutes and begin badly. If you are overthinking an apology, speak the first honest sentence. If you are overthinking your future, take one step that makes tomorrow slightly less heavy. Do not worship perfect timing. Perfect timing is often fear wearing a golden mask. Begin while your hands shake. Begin while doubt is still speaking. Begin before the committee in your head finishes voting. The mind says, what if it goes wrong? You say, then I will learn with real information. The mind says, what if they judge me? You say, they already judge, and still the sun rises. The mind says, what if I am not ready? You say, readiness is built by entering. Every time you act despite noise, the mind loses authority. Every time you obey fear, fear becomes more confident. So do not ask fear for permission. Fear is allowed to sit in the room, but it is not allowed to hold the pen that writes your life. There is a powerful practice, the 3-breath decision. For small decisions, not life-changing choices, give yourself 3 slow breaths. Then choose what to wear, what to eat, which small task to start, whether to make the call, whether to clean the desk now or later. 3 breaths, then move. This trains the mind to stop turning small doors into mountains. A person who wastes all his courage on tiny decisions has little strength left for the great ones. Save your spirit for what truly matters. The fifth way is to stop making your thoughts your identity. You say, I am an overthinker. Be careful. The words after I am become a house you live in. If you say, I am an overthinker every day, you are not describing a habit. You are carving a prison name above the door. Say instead, I have practiced overthinking, and now I am practicing clarity. This is not pretending. This is reclaiming authority. You are not the storm. You are the sky that notices the storm. You are not every wave. You are the one learning how to stand on the shore. When a dark thought appears, do not panic because it appeared. A thought is not a prophecy. A thought is not a command. A thought is not always truth. Sometimes a thought is just the mind releasing old smoke. If you fear every thought, you become its servant. Instead, observe it. There is fear. There is doubt. There is the old story. This little distance is freedom. The moment you can see a thought, you are already more than the thought. The eye cannot be the object it sees. The witness is not the noise. Many people try to destroy overthinking by hating themselves for overthinking. This is like trying to clean mud with mud. You cannot shame the mind into peace. You can only train it. Speak to yourself like a strict but loving teacher. Not soft in a way that allows weakness to rule. Not cruel in a way that creates more wounds. Say, I see you are afraid. We will breathe. We will check the facts. We will act where action is possible. We will release what is not ours. This voice must become stronger than the voice of panic. Understand also that overthinking often hides a deeper hunger, the hunger for certainty. You want a guarantee before you move. You want life to sign a contract, promising you will not be hurt, not embarrassed, not abandoned, not wrong. But life does not sign such contracts. The river does not promise the stone, it will never be moved. The sky does not promise the bird, there will be no wind. Strength is not receiving guarantees. Strength is learning how to meet the unknown without surrendering your center. The need for certainty will steal your life quietly. It will say, wait until you know. But there are many things you only know after walking. The path reveals itself to moving feet, not frozen feet. You cannot think your way into every answer. Some answers are hidden inside experience. You must live into them. This is frightening only to the part of you that believes control is safety. But control is not always safety. Sometimes control is the cage, trust is the open gate. When overthinking pulls you into the future, ask, what is being asked of me now? Not tomorrow, not in 10 years, now. Life comes one breath at a time. Even the heaviest day arrives in single moments. You do not carry the whole mountain. You place one foot on one stone, then another. The mind suffers because it tries to carry all possible stones at once. Put down the imaginary weight. Pick up the real one. It is usually smaller than the mind claimed. You must also be careful with the food you give your mind. A person who eats poison cannot ask why the body is sick. If the first thing you do in the morning is open a door to noise, comparison, outrage, other people's perfect faces, other people's opinions, other people's panic, then do not be surprised when your inner room becomes crowded. Guard the morning. The first minutes of the day are like wet cement. Whatever steps there leaves marks. Before the world enters you, enter yourself. Breathe, stretch, drink water, stand in silence. Ask, what kind of person will I practice being today? Not what disaster might happen. Not who is ahead of me. Not what did I miss. Begin with command, not surrender. At night, guard the gate again. The mind becomes dangerous when it is tired. A tired mind pretends to be a wise mind. but it is often a frightened child wearing a scholar's robe. Do not hold court with your demons after midnight. Do not review your entire life when your body is begging for sleep. Write the thought down. Tell yourself, this will be handled in daylight. Many problems shrink when the sun rises. Many monsters are shadows made bigger by exhaustion. There is another secret. Serve something larger than your own mental weather. Overthinking becomes powerful when the self becomes too central. How do I look? What do they think? What if I fail? What if I lose? The mind circles the small self like a vulture. But when you serve, when you help, when you create, when you contribute, when you put your hands into something meaningful, the circle breaks. The river of attention flows outward. This does not mean ignoring your pain. It means not making your pain the only altar in the room. Ask each day, who can I help? What can I build? What small order can I create from this chaos? Clean one corner, encourage one person, finish one task, strengthen one skill. Your mind needs evidence that you are not helpless. Every completed action is evidence. Every kept promise to yourself is evidence. Every morning you rise despite heaviness is evidence. Collect this evidence like a warrior collects scars, not to worship suffering, but to remember survival. Do not confuse peace with a quiet life. A quiet life can still contain a noisy mind, and a difficult life can belong to a person with a steady center. Peace is not the absence of pressure. Peace is correct relationship with pressure. The bamboo bends, but it does not abandon its roots. You also must learn to bend without breaking, to feel without drowning, to think without becoming trapped, to plan without worshiping fear. When you catch yourself overthinking, do not say, I failed again. Say, I noticed. Noticing is victory at the beginning. Before training, the mind drags you for hours, and you wake up exhausted. After training, you notice after 1 hour, then after 10 minutes, then after 1 minute, then in the first breath. This is progress. Progress is not dramatic in the beginning. It is quiet. It looks like returning. It looks like closing the app. It looks like drinking water instead of spiraling. It looks like saying, no, not now, to a thought that once ruled you. The world will not stop giving you reasons to overthink. People will misunderstand you. Plans will change. Money will rise and fall. Bodies will age. Messages will arrive late. Opportunities will come with risk. Love will require vulnerability. Work will require decisions. Life will remain uncertain. Therefore, your goal cannot be to remove uncertainty. Your goal is to become the kind of person who can stand inside uncertainty without abandoning himself. Imagine two people facing the same unknown. One collapses into stories, checks, doubts, repeats, delays, and burns his energy before anything even happens. The other breathes, sees the fact, chooses the next action, accepts the rest, and sleeps. The difference is not that one has an easier life. The difference is training. One has trained panic. The other has trained presence. Every day, whether you know it or not, you are training something. Every repeated reaction becomes stronger. Every time you spiral, you train spiraling. Every time you return, you train freedom. So begin with the smallest battlefield. Do not wait for a great crisis to become disciplined. Train with the small irritation, the small delay, the small uncertainty, the small fear. When someone does not answer immediately, train. When plans shift, train. When you make a mistake, train. When you feel the urge to replay a conversation 20 times, train. The warrior is not made only in war. The warrior is made in the ordinary moments no one claps for. And when your mind says, but I have always been this way, do not believe it too quickly. The past is strong, but it is not God. A habit can be old and still be breakable. A path can be deep and still be left. The river cuts stone not by force once, but by returning again and again. You will not destroy overthinking by one emotional decision. You will destroy it by returning to the practice until the old path grows grass. There will be days when you fall back. Good. Then you learn how to rise without drama. Do not turn a bad day into a life sentence. Do not say, I am back at zero. You are not at zero if you can see the pattern. You are not at zero if you return faster than before. You are not at zero if one part of you, even a small part, remembers the practice. Respect small victories. They are the bricks of a strong mind. Let me ask you something, and do not answer too quickly. What has overthinking already taken from you? How many hours of sleep? How many chances? How many honest conversations? How many peaceful meals? How many beautiful moments where your body was present but your mind was at war? Do not ask this to create regret. Ask this to create fire. There must come a moment when you say, enough. I will not pay my life to fear anymore, not with anger that burns out by morning, but with a quiet decision that becomes structure. Today, make structure. Put the body first. Check the facts. Set the worry window. Take the smallest action. Stop calling the habit your identity. These are not ideas to admire. They are tools to use. A tool left on the table builds nothing. Pick them up when the storm comes, especially when the storm comes. Anyone can speak about peace in calm weather. The practice becomes real when the wind rises. When you feel the spiral beginning, place your hand on your chest. Feel the heartbeat. This heart has been beating for you through every fear you thought would destroy you, through every night you thought you could not survive, through every embarrassment, every rejection, every mistake, every uncertain morning. It kept going. There is loyalty